Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of February 20th through the 26th of 2023. All right, so this week we have a new moon right at the beginning of the week in progressive Aquarius. And so great time to set new intentions for the lunar month, and especially in the context of how we can actualize our more forward-thinking, visionary, and eccentric qualities of ourselves and of life with this new moon. It will be conjunct Saturn, so it is good to have this sort of grounded and responsible approach to all this, perhaps building some of that innovative and freedom-oriented energy moving forward. So a lot of the aspects are concentrated in the early part of the week, close to that new moon, and it's really just involving Mercury. So Mercury will be squaring up to Uranus on Tuesday, and so there is this perhaps erratic energy that could be good to harness. Naturally, this square can mean an erratic mind, maybe a tension or nervousness, hard to ease the nerves. And so it is good to channel this, again, very much like Aquarius, that electricity, that wanting change, that thinking outside the box, that innovative energy in constructive ways, right? So anything that is about channeling a visionary mind, thinking outside the box, an unorthodox perspective on things, into constructive learning, information, maybe constructive communication as well could be a great way of working with this square. But things do ease up with it because as we get into Wednesday, of course, we will ease up off of that square, but Mercury will start to trine assertive Mars. So good harmony there with Mars, the planet of assertiveness, directness, independence. And so again, our minds and communications can be influenced positively, or at least easier to incorporate that kind of energy around Wednesday in particular. So as we go through the week, the energy is building in the lunar cycle. It's still early, slowly building momentum. When we do get to the very end of the week, we will start to enter into the more action-oriented energies of the cycle, where we do come to our first challenges of the lunar month in regards to any new things that are emerging from around this Monday time period. All right, so let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here's the sky for this week. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting first with Monday, February 20th. And as you can see, we are using the visible sky on this channel, which is very different from mainstream astrology. You won't see mainstream using the visible sky because, unfortunately, they don't use it. So it does change the signs. You will notice a lot of the placements and positions are different. So if you are new, definitely check out that link down below for more information on true sidereal astrology. All right, so a bit of a recap. I mean, this is the beginning of the lunar month coming into this week. The new moon will be very late Sunday, early Monday. For most of us, I will, of course, make a separate video on that. In fact, that'll probably be released around the same time as this video. So if you do want a more detailed look at that new moon, do check that video out. But all in all, it is a time of new beginnings. As we approach this week, it is the ending of that previous lunar month and now the beginning of a new one. And so it's a great time to set any new intentions for the lunar month, and especially if it's in the context of visionary Aquarius. So we had the sun shift into here towards the later part of last week. So there's already been more of a focus on incorporating some of this visionary, innovative, forward-thinking energy in our lives, and now it's a week of really starting to slowly implement that. The new moon energy is the lowest energy of the lunar month, and so things just slowly build from there. And so it is good to slowly implement this as we do go through the week. But the early part, good to sit with it, see what new emerges from it, perhaps set some new intentions with, again, that progressive energy of Aquarius. Anything that's about innovating our own lives or bringing more innovation into our lives, and really expressing that individual self-expression, that uniqueness, that unorthodoxy, because that really is where that sense of excitement comes from. And also in the context of contributing to things greater than ourselves. Aquarius can very much deal with global matters, collective matters, so getting more involved with that is also a great way of working with this, as well as smaller circles like community and friends as well. So major themes with this unfolding throughout the lunar month, and again, just getting started here around Monday. It is going to be conjunct Saturn, as Saturn has just recently, just this month, started to get closer to Aquarius, and so it is really starting to get activated in the sense of really what is the next 2 years of this visionary and progressive energy, both personally and collectively, getting involved. So again, new intentions around this is fantastic. Coming into the week, we still do have Mercury in Capricorn, and so our minds are still in the more grounded side of things. This could be very good to channel constructively through maybe productivity or learning that requires discipline, or perhaps communication or writing that requires discipline. Great to use that grounded mind in communications, as is still the case with Mercury still there. Venus has somewhat recently entered Pisces this past week or so, and so it is good to be enjoying more of the receptive qualities of life, going with the flow, a little bit more connected to the ethers, things that are more important to us on a soul level, enjoying this with Venus. Venus is what we want to attract and what we're valuing at certain times. So a bit of that peace, tranquility, spiritual energy, good to value that, good to see the enjoyment of that, and perhaps to also connect on our relationships in this way. It's a great time of enjoying the more unconditional or accepting or going with the flow, receptive energies in relationships when Venus is in this placement. And that might be a little bit easier to do this week as she is lifting up off of Neptune, where that may have been a little more challenging or more integrated last week. Okay, and Mars still doing his thing in Taurus, and so all the way through, I believe it's going to be all the way through almost all of March of next month as well. But just taking things slowly and steadily, one step at a time, has been the major theme these past many months, at least 6 months while Mars has been here. And so good to stop to smell the roses, take things one step at a time. It's been a time of reintegrating with our inner resources, things like our inner strength, our self-reliance, our resourcefulness, things like that, especially when taking action and pursuing things in life, which is Mars. Okay, so like I said, a lot of the energy of the week is mostly concentrated in the early part around the new moon. Not energy as in more active. That'll get the energy in our life will get more active towards the later part of the week, but just in terms of the astrology and events and spiritual life lessons, even though it will likely be more internalized early in the week. So along with that new moon, we'll have Mercury sextiling Chiron. Nothing major with this, but just a bit of an opening for maybe noticing that learning and communication can be quite healing or therapeutic. And so anything that has that, again, learning and inquisitive and communicative energy is just good to see that maybe it is a bit, healed or therapeutic with that sextile to Chiron. It's really just an opening for that. But really the main stuff with that mind and communication is being influenced Tuesday and Wednesday, when Mercury will be squaring Uranus on Tuesday and then trining assertive Mars on Wednesday. So the square to Uranus on Tuesday, it is a challenging energy naturally because the squares do tend towards imbalance. And so imbalanced Uranus, which is very similar to that Aquarius energy, but an imbalanced energy of that can be either too erratic, too much electricity, too much wanting to break free, too revolutionary, too rebellious, right? Really wanting that change and perhaps noticing a bit of a bottlenecking as that freedom-loving and individualistic side tries to express itself, or that innovative side tries to express itself. So good to channel that constructively, intentionally learning things that might challenge our own status quo, where we can think outside the box a little bit and really get outside of our comfort zone in a way that's constructive with learning and communication, with using our mind and communication. And in this way, it's a great way of utilizing this energy. Sometimes externally, it can mean information or correspondence kind of comes out of left field or unexpected. And so again, it's good to just roll with it, do our best to be flexible and adaptive, and to again get outside of our normal mode of doing things, which is what squares to Uranus are all about. But once we do get to this Wednesday time, that starts to ease up a bit. And then it's in a good harmony with Mars. So this is where we could be feeling perhaps a bit assertive and direct with those communications, or a bit of fire and passion with the mental side of things. And so great to channel that, of course, constructively, but this should just come through naturally, as trines are just supportive energies that, life kind of pushes us and supports us in cultivating. So anything that involves some of that fire, some of that independent thinking, some of that assertive or direct energy in the context of our mind and communications, and just really in our everyday experiences, is a great way of working with this. But speaking of, energy slowly building, the moon will be in Pisces this whole really middle part of the week up until Friday. And so as we're just slowly building momentum this lunar month, the energies again are more inward, especially because the moon will be in Pisces up until Friday. And Pisces is all about that, again, receptive energy, going with the flow as best as we can, connecting to our soul, again, turning a bit inward, right, as we slowly build the energy of the lunar month. But great for spirituality, great for imagination, creativity, connecting to the ethers, unconditional acceptance in life and about life, all this sort of middle part. But once we do get to Friday, the moon will shift into Aries for about a couple days there, Friday and Saturday. And so themes around independence, assertiveness, directness, some of that Mars energy type of stuff, really getting activated. And this is where we'll slowly start to notice where we're coming into the more action-oriented phase of the lunar cycle and really starting to move things forward in regards to whatever new came up in our lives from around Monday. So this action-oriented energy will take us into next week and all through the early part as well. And in this case on Sunday, and where the moon will be the early part of next week, is in more grounded Taurus. Again, that while we are taking action, it is good to, again, stop and smell those roses and take things one step at a time. That's been the main theme or lesson, and however you want to categorize it, something along the lines of taking a more grounded approach to that fire. And so this is another activation of that, and being in the first quarter, which is normally a more active-oriented phase of the cycle. But the moon in Taurus is important to merge, again, the action with the groundedness. And so Sunday in particular, great day for anything that is about, again, taking things one step at a time. Connecting to nature is great with this, to our senses as well, practicing gratitude, gratefulness, and again, building those inner resources such as self-worth, self-value, self-reliance. All right, but no major aspects towards a later part, so it will be mostly with those lunar placements. All right, so that's the week in a nutshell, everyone. The new moon will be very early this week, and so it is just slowly building momentum as we go through this week for the lunar month. Great to set intentions around Monday, especially in the context of visionary and forward-thinking Aquarius. Mercury is the one being aspected this week, and so maybe feeling a bit healed or rejuvenated with some of that mental and communicative energy on Monday. But really the strong energy with this will be Tuesday and Wednesday, when Mercury will be squaring that erratic Uranus, and so good to constructively channel that innovativeness and challenging our own status quo and getting outside of our comfort zone and having more flexibility in our life here around Tuesday, but that easing up as we get into Wednesday and really supporting more of that fiery, assertive energy, even though the middle part is about receptivity, living a little more presently with that moon in Pisces, right? That soul connection. But once we do get to the weekend, we'll slowly start to notice more of that action-oriented phase of the lunar cycle as we enter into that first quarter moon. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're not yet signed up for MTZ Insiders, it is a free newsletter where we do get these videos released first before YouTube. There's a link to sign up down below if you haven't yet. But again, have a great one, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.